Hey guys, happy Friday. Becky Timms here from BeckyTimms.com with the Drive at 5. And it's Friday, and I just want to say, guys, I'm sick. And you may say, well, Becky, you don't look sick, you don't sound sick. Well, I have news for you. You're sick too. And I know that you're sick. I know that I'm sick. But I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to let Facebook build an audience for me because we are really, really sick. You know, yesterday I took my son to the doctor and I completed a survey on vaccines. Now, I don't know what you think about vaccines, whether you are for them or against them, but I want to read you a little paragraph. I'm going to start reading it once Facebook starts building this audience for me, because this is very important, because once you find out that you're sick, you'll do something about it. And so here it goes. Here's the story. It says, hey Diana, I'm going to read a story about how I'm sick and you are too, but you don't know that you're sick. So here we go. In his office, a doctor offers his diagnosis to an attractive, expensively dressed female patient. There's nothing physically wrong with you, he says. His patient is incredulous. Then why do I feel so awful? She asks. So bloated and sluggish. I've got a big new house, a brand new car, a new wardrobe, and I just got a big raise at work. Why am I so miserable, doctor? Isn't there some pill you can give me? The doctor shakes his head. I'm afraid not, he replies. There's no pill for what's wrong with you. What is it, doctor? She asks, alarmed. Affluenza, he answers gravely. It's the new epidemic. It's extremely contagious. It can be cured, but not easily. Affluenza is a portmanteau. It's a portmanteau, which means it's a blend of two words, and the two words are affluence and influenza. I first heard this word in 2001 when I began my studying for my MBA at the Citadel here in Charleston, South Carolina. But what I just read to you was the opening paragraph from this book called Affluenza, the All-Consuming Epidemic. And I'm going to give you a quiz to see if you're as sick as I am. But before that, I just want to tell you what affluenza is. It's a socially transmitted, painful, contagious disease where we have overload, debt, anxiety, and waste resulting from the dog pursuit of more. So basically it means keeping up with the Joneses. So how many TVs do you have in your house? How many cars do you have in your driveway? How big is your house? You know, is your house bigger than 500 square foot per person that lives in it? So in this book, Affluenza, there is a test that tells us if we're sick or not. And so I'm going to read you some of the questions, and I'll also put a link in there, but here are some of the questions that are on the test. Do you get bored unless you have something to consume? Goods, food, or media? And you have to check yes or no. Do you ever use shopping as therapy? In general, do you think about things more than you think about people? Given the choice between a slight pay raise and a shorter work week, would you choose the money? So once again, just answer yes or no. Are any of your credit cards maxed out? Do you routinely compare the appearance of your lawn and or home with others in your neighborhood? Do you volunteer your time less than 5 hours a week to help other people? Do you throw away recyclable materials rather than take the time to recycle them? Do you try to impress your friends with what you own or where you vacation? Do you personally fill more than one trash bag in a single week? And these are just some of the questions that are on the test in this book, Affluenza, the All-Consuming Epidemic. And guys, here in America specifically, actually there's some stats. Let me read it to you right quick. It says that well, I can't find them in here exactly, but it's stats where Americans spend more money. We're into consumerism more than people in China and Mexico, and we have a problem. And actually, this book, Affluenza, came from a 1997 PBS story, and so next year it's going to be 20 years old. And so this has been around, well, it's been around a long time, but we as Americans are just getting more and more and more in debt. I mean, I see it a lot in my industry online. I see a lot of people buying a lot of things because they're making a lot of money, and so they're buying more and more and more, saying, I don't know why they're buying it, but look at me, this is my social status. And I'm just saying, you know, a couple of years ago when I started making a lot of money online, and I'm not telling you the story to toot my own horn, I'm just saying I was witnessing this back then as well. And so I know I've learned a lot online. I've learned a lot what to do, what not to do. And one thing that I saw, one day someone posted a post, and it was this guy, and he was just very grateful in his post, and it was a picture of his wife sewing his shoes and fixing his shoes because he didn't have any work shoes. And he gratified his wife so much. Hey Bryce, he gratified his wife so much. Total stranger. I'd never met them, knew nothing about them, but he had one pair of shoes and they were broken, and she was gluing them or sewing them or something. So I sent a message to him and said, you know, this really touched me that you wrote this Facebook post gratifying your wife. I would like to buy you a pair of shoes. Tell me your address, go to Amazon, pick them out, and I'll mail them to you. And that's what I did, guys. And I've done that over and over and over and over, and I do it a lot. And my husband's like, Becky, you gotta quit giving stuff away, giving money, giving time. I mean, I've given a lot, and one of my sons is just like me. And so I just want to say, just don't get caught up in affluenza where you have to have more. I mean, here's somebody that only had one pair of shoes, and I know women that have 500 pair of shoes. And so we just really need to think about the things that we're doing. So, okay, I told you you're sick, I'm sick, so what are we going to do about it? Well, one thing that they have is credit card condoms. And what this is where you would actually cut up your credit cards. They it's actually called a credit card prophylactic, and it's a little envelope to store your credit card in with a warning on the outside that says, before you buy this, ask yourself, do I really need it? Can I borrow it from someone else? Are the materials in it recyclable or reusable? How much time will I need to work to afford it? And an older woman tells a young friend to practice safe shopping using the prophylactic. And remember, she says with a smile, spoofing the American Express, don't leave home without it. So that's one thing that we can do, is just exercise our credit cards and not use them. The other thing here in the USA, Black Friday is coming up, and it's the day after Thanksgiving, and that's when consumerism really goes into high gear. And so it can be known as a buy nothing day. There are countries in the world that will not buy anything on Black Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving. And so could you imagine one day going by where you do not buy anything? Nothing. And Angie, you're right, pollution does increase. And and I highly recommend this book. It's really good reading. Affluenza. It's the sun's in the way, but there it is. Affluenza is probably backwards for you. But it asks people, could you, and you can answer this yourself, could you tell me the water that you drink, could you tell me where it goes from precipitation to your tap? Does anyone know? And a lot of people in this survey, they didn't even know about, you know, their precious resource of drinking water that they're drinking. So that would be another thing to do. And guys, people buy the stupidest things. I remember earlier this year I was selling a product. This product profited me $1,000 a day, and it's stupid. It's stupid, stupid, stupid. You know, I have a very unique way of finding items, and one item that I found was through YouTube, like watching YouTube videos, and there were these videos on there called the Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge Gone Bad. And these girls, and I've got little lips, so these girls would have these big old busted up lips, and they were sucking on these things called like full lips to get the blood in their lips to make their lips bigger. And I ordered some of these and was selling them $1,000 a day, where people are paying to make bigger lips. And I'm like, guys, you can suck into a Gatorade bottle or a shot glass, but they were just buying these things left and right. Craziness. Pure T craziness. Anyway, we in America, anything to look good, make us feel good, we're gonna do it. So just practice put your condom on this weekend, your credit card condom. Try not to be affluent. Thanks for tuning in for The Drive at 5. I will see you. Well, I'm going to continue doing this for 30 days straight. And hey, Cheyenne, great to see you all the way from the Bahamas. You know, I'm going to continue doing this for 30 days straight because I set it as a goal. But once I reach my 30 days, I am going to just do Monday through Friday, The Drive at 5. But if there's a topic that you would like me to talk about, I know today I told you that you were sick, and I am too. Just let me know. Put it in a comment. Send me a message. Try not to buy things. Hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you on the next The Drive at 5. Bye.